look in the mirror, how could you face that? Mask on, don't even know where my face at. Plenty don't even know where waste at. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry. What I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? It reply, how you put up with this song and dance, all this buffoonery, long romance, death.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Saquon Barkley, a man who played collegiately here in the Keystone State. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. They'll roll him out right. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Nigel Bradham. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit. And receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Play action. Now Wentz. Open space inside the 10. This will be caught inside the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. That one good for 17 yards. And now they've got it 1st and goal. The Eagles into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Here's Coleman on the toss. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Tevin Coleman, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And following
said. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked up by Sidney Jones. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Coleman now. And he's got room. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Wentz to throw on second down. Hurts has it left side. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Dancing to his left. A gritty play there. Put his nose down and got his guys a first.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Coleman. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Tevin Coleman, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times have we talked about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. It's Clement, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
This defense porous so far in this first quarter. They face another 1st and goal. Here's Coleman. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Tevin Coleman doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Eagles had 6 to their lead. Elliott now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Derek Barnett, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Here's Riley Dixon now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On 2nd down, Williams. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Pretty shifty footwork, but didn't buy him much. He'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Here we go. 120. Please. Great. Right here, over there, right here. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Even after the penalty, still a full 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
Here we go. 280. 5-2 is the mic. Mike 5-2.
Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The first catch for Jeffrey. Good enough for a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Go.
On play action, Wentz. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion.
81.
Again, they'll throw with Wentz. Trying for the tight end, Ertz, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third? Back to throw here. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. They'll drop the throw. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. They'll look to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jalen Mills. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So after the INT, here's Wentz. And that's complete to Jeffrey. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. A gain of 6 there on first.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, it's Wentz. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Alshon Jeffrey, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And certainly not the greatest of kicks there. This one will be down inside their own 40-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try to get those points.
He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jalen Mills. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. This is Coleman. And he's got some space here. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On second down, here's Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Into the red zone. Wentz. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And now it's second down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Wentz again here on 2nd and 10. Buying time to his left. And his throw here's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion.
Lion. Shorty.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
And Elliott puts this one through. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They trail offense first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Leopard!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And now he'll tuck it and run. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. Going for the deep ball. They've got his man. Complete. 20. 10. Touchdown. Giants. Odell Beckham. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead. Now, he's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's...
he's going to be hit and driven into the turf. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And he's going to go down again. T.Y. McGill in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Here we go. Lady. Run.
Working from the gun. Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Are we on the same page here, partner? Because I think they had the right idea. Just take what you can get on 3rd and forever.
Yeah, in real life, I'd say yes. It's just these video games are tempting. You want to go downfield with it.
I like the way you've evolved.
Yeah.
You know, you've learned how to play it the Madden way.
The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And not his best effort there, as this one's going to be spotted down just outside of the 40-yard line. And New York set to take the field. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the... This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
He'll look to throw. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
There's several bad decisions on the interception. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Malcolm Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
And they'll run it here. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up third and about 6.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
The Eagles on third down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 6.
81.
Back near the goal line. Here's Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. And they work this out past the 25. That one goes for 24 yards.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Room here to run. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go. 20. Check, 93's the mic.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
got some breathing room. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. The Eagles on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3.
There we go. Back. Waiting.
Now this time Wentz will throw. Aguilar has it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there at 22. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the 1 in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders about how to stay in the moment, stay focused on the task.
And he's got him in the driver's seat here in the 4th quarter.
Come on now. Let's go.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. Whoosh. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
This on 1st and goal. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
4 down.
On play action, it's Wentz. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Alshon Jeffrey, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. And this one through the uprights and good. Elliott now to kick this one away. This one taken from the 7. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
On play action, they'll throw. Open man right side is Ingram. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Evan Ingram, his second touchdown on the season. And the Giants are able to draw a bit closer. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call, but he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
On the carry, here's Clement. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now. Three down. Set. 180. Check.
Now a handoff looking right. And some room to roam now. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Here we go. 120.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Empty. Check 93 for Mike. 93 for Mike. This 5-7.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. The Eagles on 3rd down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
3 down. Here we go. Back man. 180.
Now Wentz into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Brandon Graham able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. The Giants on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. They'll run it now out of the gun. And some space here. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Spins back and complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal. Win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Eagles, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Buffalo Bills next week. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll get an extra week to think about it as the midseason bye might be coming at just the right time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Hey. Okay. Talking through